Greetings and salutations. Today I'm going to give you guys my opinion on the Psycho franchise, starting off with the first Psycho movie that came out in 1960 and directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It starts out with Secretary Marion Crane, played by Janet Leigh, who is on the run after stealing $40,000 from her employer. In order to run away with her boyfriend, Sam Loomis, she gets exhausted during a storm. She stops for the night at the Bates Motel and meets Norman Bates, played by Anthony Perkins, with an interest in taxidermy and a difficult relationship with his mother. She talks to Norman for the night, and after a conversation about being in a private trap and how we all put ourselves in them, she is done for the night and goes back to her room, wanting to sleep and go back and get herself out of the mess that she put herself in. She takes a shower before she could do all this, and that's when it's revealed that Norman is watching her getting ready to jump in. He then leaves and goes up to the house. As she is showering, Norman's mother walks in and kills her. Marion's sister tries to find out where she is hiding from Sam. The private detective Arbogast is listening in on the conversation and then jumps in. After Arbogast leaves to go look for Marion, his trail ends up at the Bates Motel. A nervous Norman Bates answers his questions, and the detective suspects that he knows more, or his mother does. He leaves and comes back after making a call with Lila and Sam, then he goes to see Norman go into one of the cabins. Arbogast sneaks up to the house. He tries to look for his mother, but as he goes up the stairs, she runs out of her room and cuts him on the face, and he then falls down the steps or stumbles, by the way the camera is. After he falls down, Mother runs down and keeps stabbing him. Lila and Sam were waiting up on him and then realize that he isn't coming. They go looking for Marion and Arbogast themselves and stop to talk to the sheriff, Al Chambers, and his wife. They then realize that Norman Bates' mother has been dead for 10 years and that Mrs. Chambers even helped Norman pick out the dress. They then go up to the Bates Motel house themselves to look around, and they check into a room and go inspect cabin 1 when Norman leaves. After finding the paper that Marion tried to flush down the toilet earlier on in the film when she was doing the math about how much she spent, Sam goes and distracts Norman while Lila goes up to the house and searches. Norman catches on to what Sam was trying to do and realizes that Lila is not in sight or anything like that, and knocks Sam out and goes up to the house himself. And Lila goes into the fruit cellar after she inspects Norman's room because Norman was coming up to the house. She's seen him and then runs into the fruit cellar. And she sees a woman sitting at a chair and says Mrs. Bates, turns the chair around, and it's revealed that it is Mrs. Bates, but she is in fact dead, and it's her corpse. Norman then comes running in dressed as Mother and screams, "I am Norma Bates," which reveals that he is the one who's doing the killings. Then Sam runs in after him and subdues him. And we get an explanation after that scene of why Norman has done what he's done, who he is, and what's wrong with him, basically. I know some people said we don't really need that scene, and that's one thing that the remake that we got could have done without, and there's a lot of problems with the remake, but I'll get to that in a future video, maybe. So anyways, I know we don't really need that scene, but at the time that was something new, and it's understandable why we got it in the first place. So, in my opinion, this movie is very good. If you haven't watched it, I suggest watching it. Don't watch the remake just because it's in color. There's no reason to watch the remake. Sure, it's a shot-by-shot of the original film with like 2 things added in, maybe 3 if you want to count the weird, stupid images that we got during some of the killings. Just watch the old one. If you're younger and you think that black and white films are stupid for some reason or boring, don't just watch it. It's still a good film, better than the remake, and I really suggest you watch this film because Psycho is a classic and it's very great. Alfred Hitchcock and Anthony Perkins and everyone else in the movie did a great job in it. And there's even something I want to mention earlier where they gave Norman Bates a nervous tick, when he got questioned by Arbogast, he would grab candy corn and nibble on it, basically as a nervous tick. When if you ever watch the film, you can kind of notice it. What do you guys think about this film? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like it? Or you think it's just meh? Just leave a comment below. Tell me your guys' thoughts on the first Psycho movie. I'll make another video of the rest of the films in the franchise, and I'll see you all next time.